NBA insider Ian Begley has revealed the timeline for Mitchell Robinson to officially return to the court from injury after his long absence from getting a second ankle surgery, and also has brought up what the Knicks' plans are with Tom Thibodeau for Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns to share the floor together. And we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. And guys, I know I say it all the time, but if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe. If you're part of the 68% of viewers not subscribed to the channel right now, if you want daily New York Knicks updates on rumors, trade stuff, you want instant updates on a bunch of New York Knicks news, fun conversations, great live streams, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But let's jump into this. You guys aren't here for self-promo. Tom Thibodeau and the New York Knicks have been very vague on when Mitchell Robinson is going to come back from his injury. It's been purposefully vague because, frankly, it's been tough to tell. Mitch went down with a second ankle surgery against the Indiana Pacers after Joel Embiid on the 76ers the season prior re-injured Mitchell Robinson, who was already dealing with his ankle coming back too early from that stress fracture to begin with, to where when Embiid pulled down his leg, it caused much further injury to where Mitchell Robinson has not played a game this entire NBA season. And there's been very few players this year who got injured at that point of last season or who got injured in last season who have not suited up yet because of an injury despite being on a roster. Someone who we just saw who was out around as long as Mitch was Jared Vanderbilt, who's just coming back for the Lakers now as well. So it's not the sky is falling with Mitchell Robinson, but the New York Knicks do need him back as he fills a lot of holes for the team and gives Tom Thibodeau another weapon to use off the bench as he starts to move towards a 9-man rotation. And having Mitchell Robinson back on the New York Knicks is something that we all know is vital because the role that he plays, he gives the Knicks the rim protection they've been missing all season. He gives them great rebounding, especially on the offensive end where he's been the best offensive rebounder in the NBA over the last season or two. Mitchell Robinson is just a phenomenal force that the Knicks need back. And Ian Begley gave some real insight into when we'll see Mitchell Robinson. And it's good news. As Begley said, Robinson has not been cleared to take contact yet, but there is belief that he could be back in early to mid-February and that Tom Thibodeau expects him to be cleared for practice by the end of the month. So obviously that's an excellent sign. Looking at where the New York Knicks are at, they've been great this season. I mean, you're about to see the Eastern Conference standings. The Knicks know they're not in first place. The Cavs are ahead right now. There's also Boston, who's 31-13, and then the New York Knicks are the third seed at 29-16. They're right behind the Boston Celtics this season, which is a testament to how good the Knicks have been. They've been better than ever with this Karl-Anthony Towns trade, and given the bench is weaker, but overall the team is better, and getting Mitchell Robinson back is going to help the team get even better as their defense will take a leap up. Now, their defense started very slow this season, but it did get together as time went on. The Knicks continued to work at it, and with the talents of OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges especially, but also guys like Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Cameron Payne's defense has been a pleasant surprise. Landry Shamet in recent days has been a very good defender when he's getting on the court. Precious Achiuwa, who's been awesome. The Knicks, when Achiuwa and Karl-Anthony Towns play together, we have seen their offense and their defense be great. They're outscoring opponents like crazy. I might do a whole video on that. If you guys are seeing this point of the video and want a whole video on that, let me know in the comments down below. We can break that down, why Towns can be used as a power forward with Mitch because of how Towns and Achiuwa are playing, even though Achiuwa is being the 4. So we could talk about that in a separate video. That's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about Mitchell Robinson. Now, taking a look more at some other things that Begley mentioned, he said that if and when Robinson is back, he'll probably come off the bench, and he will also see some minutes alongside Karl-Anthony Towns. And as Tom Thibodeau said, obviously it's a possibility because we feel like with Karl's comfortable doing both, playing both positions, so we feel like it will be an added weapon for us, which I absolutely agree with. I think that'd be excellent for the New York Knicks. I think it'd be excellent for Tom Thibodeau to run this because you look at the New York Knicks and they have such good shooting that even if you have Mitchell Robinson out there, it's not going to harm your shooting. The highest percentage of open threes come from getting it kicked back out to you on the offensive glass. That is where Mitchell Robinson shines the best. The best aspect of Mitchell Robinson's game has become the fact that he's basketball's best offensive rebounder. He's a menace down there. He's truly unbelievable when he's fully healthy, and even when he's not fully healthy, Mitchell Robinson is downright disgusting at grabbing offensive boards. He's so athletic. He's so big. His talent, just the sheer amount of skill and talent that he's developed since coming into the NBA has been really shocking. Like, he's really gotten fundamentally sound with rebounding as well. He boxes out. He spins around box out so well. Mitchell Robinson is a force to be reckoned with on both the offensive and defensive glass. And with Karl-Anthony Towns, who's been awesome this season, averaging 13 rebounds per game, Towns now gets to sit on the outside a little bit more and get more open looks. Now, he hasn't been hitting them as of recently with his thumb injury, but he'll be back to that once his hand is fine. Towns, I'm in the same boat, man. I understand. Well, it's my pinky finger, not my thumb. And frankly, I'd take the fractured thumb for you, man. Or the sprained thumb for you, man. But look, where the Knicks are at right now, they could use Mitchell Robinson a lot. It gives the Knicks rotation a different look as well because you get more guys in there, and it doesn't feel like it, but if they run Towns and Mitch together, which they will based off how Towns and Gobert succeeded together and how Towns and Achua have succeeded together, when Towns and Robinson get ran together, it's an excuse to play OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges and even Josh Hart less minutes because you're in less vital need of those bigger bodies and defense because you have the biggest body on your team in Robinson back. You'll still have Precious Achua. You'll have Karl-Anthony Towns. You got 3 big men to use, and 2 of them can play the 4, and both of them can play the 5. Even if Achua is undersized for it, he can hold it down for a couple minutes a night absolutely at the 5. We've seen that already. So it does add some more to the New York Knicks. Now, Mitchell Robinson recently, it was known that, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it, it became known from showing that on his scale, he's 268 pounds now. He's cutting weight. He's getting back to the thinner Mitchell Robinson, which he's talked about in the past. There was a video on Twitter, I want to say back in September or something. This was a while ago. It was warm out. I didn't have to wear this hat, which I'm honestly just wearing because my hair looks nuts right now. But there was a video of Mitchell Robinson when he was really thin and young and him flying through the air and all that. And someone's like, remember this version of Mitchell Robinson when he was younger and skinny? And Mitch said, I'm getting back to that version. I'm trying to be that guy again. Now, I don't know if that's the best idea for Mitchell Robinson, if I'm being honest, because I like the version of Mitchell Robinson that wasn't able to be moved by Joel Embiid at all, being that massive big body. The thing is, Joel Embiid hardly plays basketball anymore as well, so he might not be a concern in the playoffs. Outside of that, the other really, really big body in the Eastern Conference is Giannis, and, well, OG Anunoby's been flat out disgusting at guarding Giannis. So Mitch off the help, you don't need him to be that big body for it. So I guess it makes some sense there. And then outside of that, I guess you can go to Bam Adebayo, who at this rate will barely be in the playoffs if him and the Heat are even in the playoffs. So also Bam's having a terrible year for some reason. So there's also that. But look, where the Knicks are at right now, they're in absolutely excellent position for Mitchell Robinson to come back and for them to get much better. I mean, Begley mentioned, speaking on the Mitch weight thing, that he saw Mitch in the locker room and he looked slim. Robinson recently said in a video on social media that he was at 268 pounds, but he shed a couple pounds since then, according to Begley. And on top of that, just looking at what the Knicks trade situation is, they certainly know better than anyone what Mitch's status is, but speaking with league sources, other teams have little faith that he's not a risk without seeing him on the floor, and that risk is the same for the Knicks and other teams. So it might be one of the reasons why the Knicks are, or why Mitch is losing weight. It might just be helpful. Less pressure on the joints and his feet, less pressure on the bones. A third of the bones in your body are in your feet. So there's so many small bones. He's had ankle injuries. He's had feet injuries. Mitch might be trying to take some pressure off of those. Remember, he was healthier earlier in his career. Then when he started gaining weight, he started dealing with more injuries. Mitch might be cutting down on that weight in order to get back to that guy who wasn't getting hurt as much. And if that's going to work, then that absolutely is what Mitchell Robinson should do. A healthy Mitchell Robinson truly changes the trajectory of this Knicks season. So it just becomes this situation where it'd be perfect to have a healthy Mitch back. I truly think he's also going to come back and not be super injured instantly like a lot of people in the comments have been saying. I don't think that's going to happen, if I'm being really honest. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but when Mitchell Robinson's healthy, he puts up 10 rebounds, 6.2 points, 1.5 steals, and 1.5 blocks. It's important to mention that with those 10.3 rebounds, 5.3 of them were offensive rebounds. Now, that's going to matter in a second because Mitchell Robinson, a career 8-8 guy, we've seen his rebounds go up even if his points have gone down because he's getting less touches in the paint. I mean, Mitch scored a lot more earlier in his career before there was a bunch of great players on the Knicks when he was the best player on the team. So that's why his scoring is going down a little bit, but also he doesn't really get a ton of lob attempts. But when he's thinner and a little bit faster, we might see more lob attempts. However, you look at Mitch's full season last year. He went down to 4.6 offensive rebounds because he was dealing with an injury. But when he was healthy, he was getting 5.3 offensive rebounds. Last year's leader in offensive rebounds per game was Clint Capella with 4.6. So even an injured Mitchell Robinson puts up the same offensive rebounds per game as the leader in offensive rebounds last season. That's pretty telling on how damn good Mitchell Robinson is and how good he's going to be for this New York Knicks team. I think Mitchell Robinson coming back to the New York Knicks is going to be vital, and I do think that if he can come back and stay healthy, he's this team's X factor 1,000%. It adds rim protection at such a higher level than the Knicks have had all year. It adds another just element to their defense where you could throw out in the playoffs a Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, or OG Anunoby, one of those two, with Mitchell Robinson, have an elite defensive unit with an offensive engine. You could do the same thing, have Deuce, Mikal, OG, one of OG, Mikal, or Josh is on the bench in this situation, but you have elite defenders throughout, and then put Karl-Anthony Towns next to Mitchell Robinson. You could hide one of Brunson or Towns, keeping them fresher because they don't have to worry about defense if they're just stuck on some shooter and just told not to move. It would just work out so well. I think Mitchell Robinson coming back changes so much about the New York Knicks, and I'm really excited to see Mitch back on the floor, catching lobs, doing his thing, getting the offensive boards that he does. He's such a fun player to watch for someone who's like the style that he is, because he just beats people up. Like, this is when he was injured, mind you. He's playing through that stress injury right now, and look at him just move through Mikal and all them like it's nothing. Like, he literally, it looks like it's not even hard. He looks like those high school videos of him when he was playing against those people who look a lot like me, except are a lot shorter than me. Because, yeah, I'm 6'4.5". Deal with it. That was so corny. I thought that was going to be, like, kind of funny if I made a joke about myself, and it just wasn't. So, Belief, guys, make sure you subscribe, like this video, turn on post notifications. If you have any video suggestions in the comments down below, don't be afraid to share them. I love making videos that you guys want to see me make. I want to make videos that someone asks for, so we can stay more in touch with the fan base. Guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day. Go Knicks.